Hello and welcome to season 5 of Own Your Divine Light Show. I am your host, Yarra Atlantica Miller, also known as Janet Miller, and the theme of this show is the Divine Human Rising, recovering our sacred truth. And this show is an exploration of the secret truths that have been concealed from us. We are letting go of this old system that no longer works and has held us back from becoming the divine humans we are meant to be. Today, we are having the fabulous Lily Nova, who will be sharing her divine truth with us so that together we can achieve the divine human rising. And Lily, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I'm just going to give everybody a little info about your background. So Lily began having UFO visits over what, 2 or 3 years now? Because this
Yeah.
is a while. So while shooting space photography, and through those encounters, she has developed a close relationship with star beings. They've taught her, not only how to connect with them and the secrets of the universe, but all about the star seeds and that are on Earth with a mission, and how to activate the multidimensional DNA that everyone has access to, and how to develop special gifts and supernatural abilities. And of course, if you wish to know more about Lily, there's lots of things around at the bottom of this session. But if you want to know more about your cosmic origin as a starseed, or how to activate your DNA and tap into your psychic abilities, CE5, and how to connect with your star beings, you can check out Lily's on her channel on YouTube. So Lily is amazing. So I totally tell you to have Lily, check her out. So welcome, Lily. Again.
Hello. It's so good to be here. Exciting times we're living in.
It's incredible, isn't it? And your coming out, so to say, started what, about 3 years ago? And
Yeah, I guess it's been about 3 now. This started happening during the pandemic, during lockdown for me.
So of course we have to know your origin story. How did you become aware of you being a star being? How did you wake up to this whole world of energy and what you're into now, which is amazing?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how it happened. So I've always been open-minded and intuitive, but I was a nutritionist. I was teaching health and nutrition classes for a local university around the community. And I've always had a lot of drive, wanting to help people. So that's how I was helping and contributing. And then, the pandemic happened and we're in lockdown, and I started feeling called to the stars. So I took my camera. I have like a nice Nikon camera, and I started going out and taking photos. And this is in the middle of lockdown, like everything's closed. So yeah, so there wasn't much to do. And that's what I started doing. And right before that, I actually I quit my job.
Oh, wow.
Some stuff happened there, and this was my dream job. But some stuff happened, and I was out of there within a week, which really sucked because that was, that was my passion. So, trying to rediscover who I am, I started going out to the stars, taking these wonderful pictures of the Milky Way, of other galaxies. I spent every single night out there. And a couple months in, I had my first UFO encounter, and it was very, very close.
Wow.
Very close encounter. Yeah.
That's incredible. That alone gives me chills just hearing you say that, because I don't know all your origin stories. So this is so exciting. So what happened? How did it appear? And I can't even imagine how you felt.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I wasn't expecting it at all. So it was the night before I was going on an astrophotography trip. Just a normal night. Stepped out onto my front porch, looked up at the stars like I always do, and there was a hovering light over around the neighborhood. It was kind of farther away, but not too far, and it was a big light, and it was just hovering. And I was like, okay, what's that? I ruled everything else out. It's not a plane. The planes blink. This was hovering in a weird way. And so I started recording it, and I'm like, I think this is a UFO. So I start recording it, and then suddenly, it just kind of got really eerie and quiet. an orange light appeared at the end of my street, just this weird light. So I looked down to the end of my street. It's dead quiet. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody out.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. It was late at night, very late. There was not a sound. Suddenly I start hearing a sound.
Wow.
I look back to my left and a second craft had appeared. It was much closer. I got to see, it was like a diamond shape. I got to see the lights going across it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was bending my neck looking up at it, and it was just like a few houses down, and it that shocked me. That put me in shock.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think I'd be the same. Yes.
yeah, that put me in shock. Like, I don't even know what I did. I was just in shock. And then it moved up, down, side to side very quickly. Like, it's showing me, like, hey, this is
Hello.
something. Yeah, this is something you've never seen before. And then it starts coming straight for me.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I took a step back. At the time, I was still recording on my phone.
Which is great.
Yeah, so you could see the light of it, but it was so dark. It's not very good footage, but that I realized that I'd caught it 2 weeks later, and that helped me to know, okay, I wasn't seeing things. This really happened. And I started getting kind of shaky, and I took a step back because it was literally coming straight for me. And it went above my head and then just vanished. And I knew that it either went straight up or it popped into another dimension. I didn't even know anything about dimensions, but I just knew that it just disappeared into another dimension. And
Wow.
yeah, so that was really close. I was pretty shaken up after that. It was a whole paradigm shift. I wasn't really, into UFOs before. I was open-minded, but I didn't know anything. And then after that, they gave me about a week for that to settle, or not about a month for that to settle.
Sure. That's nice of them.
Yeah, they gave me a little bit of time to integrate that. And at that time, I started looking into, UFO information. And then I was at an astronomy park by myself about a month later. Suddenly UFOs on each horizon.
Wow.
There were 2 behind me and 1 in front of me. They were in the tree line and on the horizon. And yeah, so then I just sat at that park and I was recording them because I was kind of afraid to leave. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm surrounded. And I stayed up there basically all night. And then after that, they just started popping up left and right. And it was like they wanted me to capture them on camera. They were giving me perfect opportunities to record them. So that's how I started. I started documenting them and then learning, when they would appear, how they're popping into other dimensions, and just kind of seeing what the craft and lights look like. It doesn't look like anything that we have, and just kind of starting like investigating them.
Wow. So how did you feel as you were sitting there? Did you start to relax? Did you feel still scared? You're probably a little nervous, obviously, but you feel better?
Yeah, a little bit nervous. The second encounter, but then the curiosity was greater.
That's good.
Yeah, so I was more curious, and I did start to relax, but there was at one point, like near the end, these orbs kind of came over into a field next to me, and they were getting kind of close, and I was like, all right, that's close enough. So that was, a little weird, but the curiosity was so much more. Now I was intrigued. And I'm like, this is something huge. We're not alone in this universe, and there are aliens or extraterrestrials here right now. That changes everything.
It's so wonderful that you can say that, because I've never really seen one like that. I've seen them in the sky. Like I was down in Arizona and New Mexico, way out in the desert area. And we were staying at the Hopi area, the Hopi reservation area. And so I asked to see starships. So I look out my window and there was 3 lights, like 1, 2, 3, like a triangle. And I just said, oh my gosh, I was all tingly. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is something big. And I didn't go out though. I wasn't going out. I just looked out the window and I said, that is really awesome. So I said, I'm going to wake up in the morning and see if there's any actual light poles or something out. There was nothing there. It was just empty. So that was kind of like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you can ask and they will show up, which is amazing. If you're not afraid, they sense it, but they also know that we all want to know, I think we all know that we have a galactic family, right? And we're getting to that point. I mean, now because you have totally gotten connected to yours. So, so then of course, what happened after that? You got connected to them, and did you start to did you ever see any beings? Did you see anything that was like an actual being come to visit you or anything like that?
So I've had kind of that happen,
Yeah,
but not
yeah,
quite like face-to-face
yeah.
physical.
Well, I know you have one session. I actually copied a picture of this of
Yeah.
when you had, oops, I got to do that. This is one of your best, I'm sorry, this is always those backgrounds.
Yeah.
This is the best. I don't know if it can even be seen. This is bad. There you go. Is it seen? Can you see the light?
Yeah, kind of. So there's a big light being standing
Yes, I'm trying to make it good, but if I have to hold it next to me, I'm disappearing with it. There you go.
Okay,
How's that one?
yes, that's fine. That's good. Okay, so there's
There
there's a big light being there,
Yep.
right? And it was right in front of me. And at the time I was meditating a lot, I could feel them around me a lot. So you can feel them, but often they're in a spectrum of light that our eyes can't see, but the
And it's
camera
so
can
cool.
pick them up. Yeah.
That was amazing. I mean, if someone goes on, you have your photos, I think, on your website, which people can see some of these that are just amazing that you have. That one is spectacular because the light being is showing up in there is the light. And, we always want to see like an actual being or a person, but they don't always come that way, right? I mean, this is it. We have expectations, but I guess you have to let go of those. Is that what happened? You just let go of your expectations and things started happening.
Well, and I was starting from scratch. I didn't know it. I didn't know what a starseed was. I didn't know
Yeah.
about channeling. I didn't know about anything. I knew about the chakras, but that was it. I didn't really know about anything else. So I was basically a clean slate for them to teach and guide. So they started kind of communicating with me, but it wasn't like super obvious at first, but then they would show me. And ideas and downloads would pop in my head. Then I would start getting feelings. And then as they worked with me on that, I'm like, okay, what are you guys here for? Like, why are you coming to me? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to share this footage with people? And the response that I got was they sent me a picture. You know that great painting where it's like the
the two fingers, the God pick pose. Yes, yes.
yeah.
God and man touching. Yes.
Yeah, so I had that hanging up on a postcard from Italy of that on my desk. I was sitting there talking to them, not sure if they can hear me. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, what is this? And this thing flew at my feet. It went from my desk and flew at my foot. And I picked it up and I'm like, oh, they want to make contact.
Oh, that was the picture. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I realized, okay, they want to make contact. So I just became obsessed with it, wanting to learn more about them. And as that progressed, they began sending me visions, telepathic visions, and the telepathy got stronger. So they were activating me with every time I went out, they were activating me. My consciousness was expanding. And they were helping to activate my psychic abilities too. So a lot of time they'll send me, I can like remote view them, with my eyes closed. And I worked very hard on developing that ability and activating.
That's a hard one too. I know I've done some remote viewing classes and it takes practice. You do have to be disciplined and do the work.
Yeah, exactly. So they started teaching me how to do that so that I can see them that way. And so that's kind of like my main gift is seeing vision. So I get to see a lot of these beings, but they've also come to me in ways where they've been right there. I just couldn't see them with like the physical eyes, but I can feel them. They've come in my room and I felt them doing energy work on me.
Wow.
They were standing right beside me on each side of me doing this energy work. That just happened recently and it blew my mind.
Sure.
They didn't like physically manifest, but they were there and I could still feel them. it was pretty wild.
Well, it takes a lot sometimes for them to come into the physical, as I understand it, and they probably feel that you trust enough and you believe enough that they don't need to do that with you, which is
Right.
I'm getting, yeah, which is wonderful because you instantly became you trusted everything that was coming through. You didn't question, which really I think accelerates your journey when that kind of happens to you, because you just said, all right, I'm ready for this and I'm going to go for it.
100%.
So, yeah. So do you know like what your star lineage is? How did you find, like, I know you do work with star lineage, so they started to bring you into that kind of work. Because I know I had a star reading with you myself, which was very good. And so you had to find out your star lineage. So did you find that out before contact with them or after?
After, it took me a while to figure it out.
Uh-huh.
It was probably about at least 5, maybe 6 months in of seeing these UFOs and starting to communicate with them that I found out that they were my star family.
Wow.
Yeah, whenever I found out that, and then that's whenever the whole Starseed thing, I started like looking into that and yeah, so I found out that they were my star family and my heart just dropped. Like I just bawled my eyes out.
It's so special when they come that,
Yeah.
when they want to connect with you like that. There's some that you have a special mission is what I feel is that you have, because not everybody gets that. Not, we all have our mission, but you have a particular one that, has to come forward right now. So
Yeah, to
that's
help
great.
connect others. Yeah. And so how I found out, after I found out they were my star family, I kind of started looking into the different popular ones and I didn't know what resonated. I had no idea. And then the first being that I saw, I saw her UFO first. So I went out and I initiated contact. This was the first time I went out and I was like, okay, I'd like to make contact. Instead of me just being out and them randomly popping up, I was like, I want to make contact with you. And within 5 minutes, a golden orb appeared. And I had somebody else with me to witness this. And the golden orb was moving around. I was trying to ask it questions, trying to communicate with it. And then my friend, who was more practiced in meditation and spirituality, I learned a lot from him. He said, let's close our eyes and see if we can get anything that way. And that's whenever they were sending me telepathic images. And I saw a woman with light blue skin and no hair, who was the one who was manning this orb, this ship.
I
And
may have a picture of this person. Is this the one that you're talking about?
Yep, she looked like that.
Because I saw that in one of your talks, and I'm like, all right, this is calling. All right, if I can get it to go out. Come on now, Janet. Look at that. I could have done it the easy way, but I do it this way.
So she had light blue skin and no hair.
Beautiful. Come on, let's do this. I just didn't work some minutes.
There we go. It's working.
We got it.
Yep, it's working.
She's gorgeous. Did you draw that?
No, I did not draw that. I would like to. I'm also an artist, so I would like to draw her one day.
How did you get this picture? Did you just?
I found it online.
Okay.
And I wanted
This
to
is
show
exactly
people.
how she looked. Pretty close, huh?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And so who was she? Who was she exactly? She was.
So she told me that she was Lyran. So then that's how I found out that I was Lyran. And I do have multiple star families. So later the Pleiadians started coming in. So I have a Pleiadian star family, and then the Sirians started coming in. So I'm Lyran, Sirian, and Pleiadian. And they were all
fantastic.
Yeah, they all started communicating with me and showing up. But the Lyran, so the light blue one, the woman, her name is Talia. I found out her name was Talia. And then she started communicating with me telepathically after I saw her, after that golden orb, and she started teaching me. She said, she was like, your heart chakra needs some work. And I was like, what? Extraterrestrials are telling me to work on my heart chakra?
Well, yeah, they're a little higher frequency than we are. Yep.
Yeah. So they started teaching me, we're all one, we're all connected. They were helping me heal my chakras, and they helped me develop my healing abilities. And that's what I do in like the activations that I do on my channel on Sundays, and teaching me how to develop my psychic abilities and and things like that. So me and her became very close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she's like one of your main mentors,
Yeah.
teaching you everything, which is beautiful to have. I mean, it's so nice to know your galactic mentor. I mean, what a gift.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
gift. Yeah. And I also, I know you told me I had Lyran connection, ancient Lyran, and I always knew I had Syrian.
Mhm.
And then I never was sure about the Pleiadian, but recently I was told there's Pleiadian. But
Nice.
mine was like you said, yours was what is your key lineage that you feel that you're most attracted to?
This Lyran, I feel very, very attracted to the Lyrans, Andromeda constellation, which is,
Okay,
yeah. So I
interesting.
feel, yeah.
Are they originally from the Andromeda constellation, the Lyrans?
No, I think, well, so Lyra, these beings, the light blue beings I'm talking about originate from the star Vega in the Lyra constellation.
Okay, yeah.
And then they spread out and they migrated to the Andromeda constellation, but they're originally
Oh,
from
okay.
Lyra. Yeah, she just told me that she was Lyran, I think just to make it easy.
Simple, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know the Andromedans are doing a lot in our planet as well. Have you connected a lot with them?
The Andromeda galaxy, beings from there. Yeah, so about last May, almost a year ago, I started having Andromedans that started popping up, and they were helping me with telekinesis, actually being able to move things.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I had 3 of them that were hanging out for a while, so I got to work with them a lot. And these Andromedans, so they're originally like 12D light beings. They don't have physical bodies. So what they did to come to Earth to help us more hands-on is they took physical bodies that could withstand this frequency. Yeah, and some of them they look gray-like, but they're
Oh,
but they are actually Andromedan. So I started seeing these beings that looked like grays, and I was a little confused,
yep. I would be too.
yeah, I was like, who are you? And
Yeah.
but I felt so much love with them, and then I found out they're actually from Andromeda Galaxy. They just took these bodies.
They had to lower their frequency to come in, obviously. Yeah, that's amazing. So you had Andromedan mentors as well. So you can move objects now with your mind?
It's been a little bit since I've practiced with it, but yeah, on my channel I have a pinwheel that you can practice with. So
Okay, because I
yeah,
haven't seen that yet. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out because I remember, did you try bending spoons? I mean, that was the original thing that
I
everyone was doing in the beginning. Yes.
I haven't tried that yet. So
Oh,
it's been
yeah.
I was focusing on it heavily for a while whenever they were with me, and now not as much lately, but I think it's time to test it out again. But this pinwheel thing, you take it's very lighter than a spoon, but I'm sure that as we activate our DNA and practice, we could definitely bend spoons too.
Oh, we can do it already because they've been doing this, I know, within the last 15 years, because people would come to the different groups I was involved with, and one gentleman was an Arcturian, like sort of connected to the Arcturians, so he was always teaching spoon bending. So
Wow.
I was there in the class, and he had us, do I can't remember how it all went, but he had a certain way of teaching it. And he wasn't the first. There's other people before him that have taught it. So it's been around for a while, but it seems to have fallen away because now we have actual star beings showing up, which is so much better. But we all bent it to a point. Some could just bend it like it just bent right over like melted steel. It was incredible. Mine bent over some. It was good. I was a little doubtful, and you can't doubt. You've got to be like secure in it and just let it happen. My friend next to me, hers just went right over. Couldn't believe it. It was so quick. Yeah, so it's pretty fun. So you might like trying that. You'll have fun with that one. Yeah, and it's a good one to teach people because it's a solid validation that you can do this. Like if you're moving objects, of course, that's going to also be another validation, which is pretty amazing. So, wow. So when you were going through, like you had to go through some clearing work to get to where you are now. How did you have to handle all that? How was that? Was it difficult? Was it Yeah, well, she's giving me that look. Because now you're talking about what we all talk about, like shadow work, which people don't always want to call it that, but it is part of the shadow work that we're meant to work with. And so how did that work with you?
Yeah. So yeah, we basically kind of dived right into that whenever the telepathic communication picked
Hmm.
up, and I could feel her with me every day, Talia.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing. Now she's kind of giving me a little bit more space, and she pops in here and there, but for a while I called it Starseed Boot Camp, where
Yeah,
she was training me every single day. Um,
yeah.
and that was my only focus. Was I wanted it so badly to learn from them
Hmm. Hmm.
and develop these gifts and abilities and just live up to my highest potential. And so yeah, that was a big part of what we had to start doing. She told me your heart chakra needed work. So then that's how I started working with the chakras. There's a lot of work and now, so as I've developed my abilities, I can clear the chakras more easily.
Oh,
But
beautiful.
yeah, but back then, sometimes I had to focus on something for
Oh,
weeks.
sure, because every chakra has its blocks.
Yeah.
So you do have to learn what they are about, and then you have to learn how to clear it. And what is my block? I mean, you've got to identify your own particular personal blocks, and we all have our own from past lives and, even current, whatever's been going on in our life. And it's important. So did you feel that was an important work you had to do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
and see, sometimes people don't want to look at that because it's a hard one, but it's so worthwhile because look at what it's done to you. You were so open, and then you've just gone, you just gone to the stars. There's no limits anymore. There's no limits for you. So I want a silly question probably, but what does CE5 mean?
So CE5 is human initiated contact with,
Oh,
yeah, it's just human initiated contact with UFOs or ETs. I just call it that for the sake of, it's short and sweet, and
where
it
did that come from? Because I've heard people using it, and I couldn't connect it. I'm like, I don't know if I get this. What does it mean? So I said, I'm asking Lily because she always talks about it.
Yeah, so actually Dr. Greer, Stephen
Okay.
Greer, he's made it very famous.
Oh,
He's
did he? Because I
demonstrated.
never followed him a whole lot, but I knew what he did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what he calls it also, and he has developed some protocols which are similar to what I do whenever I
Yeah. He was out in
initiate.
the desert. Yep.
Yeah.
Connecting, doing those connections, which is so fabulous. And you did that just on your own. I mean, did you know about him when you started doing it? No. So you didn't know. You knew about him after. See, all yours was so natural, was such a natural progression for you.
Mhm.
So what are they telling you to teach us now? What are you being taught? What are you bringing through now from the mentors that you've had to bring to humanity to help us move into that divine human rising? What are you bringing?
Mhm. Well, a lot of it is healing and clearing work. And I also love focusing on activating your abilities,
Hmm.
because we don't need to rely on anybody outside of ourselves. If we open our hearts and connect with our inner guidance, our higher selves, and step into our power, like, we can get the answers immediately. You can just feel it out. You're divinely guided always. So
Hmm.
I really like focusing on teaching that, and that's what the star beings want me to do also.
Oh dear, we have a stop.
DNA.
Sorry, could you
Yeah,
go back real quick? Because I think it froze. I don't know who froze, you or me, but it was a quick freeze.
yeah.
About not even quite a minute, but maybe 30 seconds. You
Okay.
were talking about what they were bringing through for you.
hmm So one of the biggest things that the star beings want me to do and assist people with is the DNA activations.
Ah.
Yeah, and the healing and clearing work also, and we do those. I channel those every Sunday on my YouTube channel at
Mhm.
2 p.m. Central Time, and we do different topics, um, because we need to release our density.
Yes.
We have to do the clearing, we have to do the healing, but then also the DNA activation. As you activate your DNA, you remember your
Mhm.
healing gifts.
Mhm.
You can clear things in an instant. tap into things. So the DNA activation, we're only functioning, normal humans are only functioning on about like 5% of their DNA. Imagine if we even got up to like 30, 40, 50% of our DNA, and we're only using about 5% of our brain too. So imagine what we'd be like if we were using all of it.
It's incredible how we've been, just stopped and kind of, held in stasis to be where we are now, but you are bringing it through. And I think I did DNA activations way back in the early 2000s. And it was like connecting your telomeres, and I could literally see the universe like show up in the person. They turn into the universe. It was amazing. And so you're doing it. What do you see anything particular when you're doing your DNA activations?
So recently they've been having me, so right now I'm hosting some DNA activation group sessions.
Okay.
And what they're having me do is through these sessions, they're having me first clear with the assistance of the beings, especially the Arcturians, because they're master healers. They're phenomenal. Assist with removing anything out of the physical body. That may be like negative implants or things like that. Clearing any negative programming from the mind. So doing a lot of just kind of clearing in things that may be stuck in your energetic field from past lives, trauma, stuff like that. So that's how they're having me start clearing that. And they will actually get, like, you can actually feel them working.
Doing work. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll feel like a little, like a tug or something, like the poke they were doing.
That's amazing.
People
are telling you they feel them working on them. Yeah, that's powerful. That's really, I mean, when I used to do my healing work, I haven't done that kind of work right now, but who knows if it's meant to come back. I've just sort of gone into this work, loving meeting people like you who are bringing it in a whole other way now. And people would feel certain sensations. It was funny. Sometimes I'd see them, their hands would just rise while they were on the table, because I would have them come here and they would just rise. And they would just be like that for 10 minutes. And, and it was just wild stuff. So, and I don't know if they even knew that they did that. I can't remember. I think some of them felt it, but not all of them. I said, did you know that this was happening? And they'd say, I don't know. Did that really happen? Yeah, I should have taken a picture. I didn't want to invade their privacy, but that would have been a great, a great validation for them. But
yeah, the physical sensations, whenever you get the physical sensations, that's hardcore
validation. Yeah. So do they tell you how many DNA what do they call it? DNA strands you're connecting back together? Did they give you any idea?
Last time they showed me, I was on strand 5.
Oh, nice. That's why you said it. I think that's great, because I knew we had about 4 connected at this point, maybe. So we're working on 5. Great. And then some people have more.
Yeah.
So you probably have more already connected, because look at the work you're doing.
Yeah. So the last time that I checked in on that, it's been some months since they told me 5. So it definitely could be more, 6 or so. So like the DNA activations, the clearing, removing any negative programming that may be hindering you, or blockages that may be hindering you, and then, sending light and frequencies to your cells and activating with these light codes. And it's just very powerful, very exciting. And you'll start feeling different. You'll start remembering things. You'll start developing new gifts and abilities. It's fantastic. And everybody's so different. Everybody has a different gift and ability. Everybody has a different way that the universe communicates with them. So it's really cool getting to hear everybody's kind of stories and experiences, because it's such a variety.
Yeah. And so when those get connected, do people come back and say, oh, this has started happening and that started happening? Do you get feedback? What are they seeing? What is happening?
Yeah. So, feeling completely different, feeling at peace. A lot of people get very emotional. And on the live activations that I do on Sundays, at the end of the activation, I ask everybody to tell me how their experience was.
Mhm.
So at the end, you get to see what other people experience, and there's just a big variety. Some people are feeling like pulled, like we did the sacral chakra Sunday, which is also a big one right now that the star beings are saying we're collectively working through.
So do you have to be there for the live to get it done, or do you have them recorded so people could go in and catch up?
So I do them live with the chat,
Got it.
but you can do it later. There's a lot of people that do it later. The replays are still available.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, they're still up. So you could look through them. I've got so many. We're doing the chakra series right now. We have different star beings, like connect with your Lyran star family, connect with the Pleiadian. So we've done the different star origins, and now we're doing the different chakras. But yeah, the energy is still there, so people can go back and do them. And then I'm also working on recorded ones for DNA activation kits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
So what do you mean by a kit? What does a kit entail?
So you know how I said basically they put me through like Starseed boot camp?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So that's basically what I'm envisioning for this, is like a little Starseed boot camp.
That's perfect. That's perfect because yeah, that's what everyone's ready for. I think when you're ready, like you were so ready, that they're just attracted to it. I think it's a natural attraction, which is so powerful. And yeah, I love that. So how do you feel now since all this has happened to you? How have you seen your life? Are you happy? Do you feel like this is, how does it affect you now?
Well, I knew pretty immediately that this was just life-changing. And there was one day where I was making contact with them every day. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? I haven't, at the time I wasn't working, I was going out, I was making contact with them every single day. And then I'm like, okay, but where is this going? Like, what am I doing? And then as I was saying that, as I was talking to them, driving down the street, immediately after I say that, I look up at the street sign and it says revolution.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So they
Love
said,
it.
you're here to help fuel a revolution. This is going to be very big. So I just dedicated my complete life to it. Everything's changed. Yeah, everything's changed. It's been a very transformative, beautiful experience. The love that you feel from connecting with your star family is, it's just, you want more of it. It's incredible.
I agree. See, that's why I do this work, because I get to connect with my star family. You're all like, we all have different connections, and I've got the three you have: Lyran, Sirian, and Pleiadian. And Sirian was my very first. I knew I was Sirian connected, and then, as I said, the other two came in. You told me the Lyran, and then the Pleiadian came in, which I always sort of pulled away from it. But it's funny how I think we all have Pleiadian in us, because I think they had a big part in seeding the planet. And
they're a popular one, definitely. Most star seeds have Pleiadian.
So I know, did you have a gift for the group that you want to tell them a little bit about?
So the gift is a deep chakra healing session with inner earth beings. So I think I was telling you before, it may have been before we started recording, but there was a time recently where these inner earth beings, they came into my room and they started doing healing work on me, energy work on me. And that's whenever I made the deep chakra healing session. They wanted to offer that to other people too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a group of inner earth beings. They're phenomenal healers. I absolutely love them so much. And a lot of us have inner earth guides and connections. So this is a channeled session where we go through and we clear, open, and balance all of your chakras. So it's like a complete hour-long Reiki session. And then we also use the violet flame of transmutation, which is that's like one of the most powerful spiritual tools that you
Yes.
can use. So it's with the violet flame and the inner earth beings. And you may actually feel them physically from this session
Wow.
too. Yeah.
Now the inner earth beings, are they the Telosians, like the groups that live in Telos and that group?
Yeah. Yep. The my inner earth contact Kay, who helps me with a lot of this, she looks Nordic. Yeah, she's
Oh
very,
yeah, they're beautiful. They're always blonde, right?
yeah.
They're blonde and white skin, very light skin, and what I understand, I haven't seen them, but extremely tall,
Yeah.
extremely tall.
I get the same thing. I think there are other beings down there, but that's mostly what the group, the ones that I
Oh
see
yeah,
like that.
they have the frequencies to work with us, and they're ready to work with us now because
Yeah.
we've gotten to a level that they're ready to help us, right? Because I know before they were like, well, when you reach that level, we'll come out and help you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like it's go time right now. They are ready. Even the
Mhm.
Sasquatch. I had a trip to Arkansas
Oh
recently.
my goodness.
Yeah, in Arkansas, underneath it is just covered with crystals. There's like 35 miles of crystals underneath in this area of Arkansas, and there's a lot of Sasquatch in the area. Connected with a whole family of Sasquatch, and
Wow.
they wanted to help with the activation. So I asked, can I do an activation where other people can meet you and connect with you? And they were like, yes, they were excited for it. They were down for it. And now a lot of people, this was on the Sunday Live recently. A lot of people are now seeing them as guides and they're working with them. They're doing energy work on them. It's incredible. So
Beautiful.
yeah, the beings they really want to help. The inner earth beings are stepping up to assist us more. They're going to make their presence a lot more known.
Hmm. So what are they telling you? How are we doing? Are they saying we're doing good? And like, what's our future look like? Do you have any ideas? Like what's in the future?
Yeah, so a lot of the corruption is about to fall away.
Here.
Yeah, a lot of disclosure is starting to happen. And it's a lot has happened. It's just we're in the moment, living through it day by day. So it may not seem like that much has happened, but really so many things are happening every single day. So disclosure's coming, a lot of the corruption is coming out, and will be coming out. They also shared with me, I did a recent video, messages from the future. They gave me 13 different things that were going to
Oh,
happen. Yeah, this
okay.
year. So just going through a few of them, they're going to be dropping ideas and downloads and information on the scientists to help them to make new discoveries about our DNA and our genetics. So
Beautiful. We're ready.
so they're basically going to be seeding just new discoveries.
Hmm.
And space exploration. We're going to find more exoplanets similar to Earth. And they also said that something is going to happen by Christmas
Ooh,
that will increase abundance on the planet and decrease poverty.
that's so needed. So needed. We're ready. Thank you.
Yeah.
And keep it coming. Keep it coming. That's all I can say. Because after these last 3 years, it's great to hear that. It's so great because, yeah, I know for me, I can't even hardly look at the dark energies or even most of the heavy 3D stuff. I just can't look at it anymore.
Right.
Body won't go there. And I'm like, oh, it exhausts me just to look at it.
Mhm.
Pulls me right down.
Yeah.
So it's important. So what are your words of wisdom that you have to share with the group right now? What do you see as important for us to know right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're applauding us right now as I'm sitting here. As you asked that question, they sent me a
Oh,
vision.
thank you. I feel tears. Ooh.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's beautiful.
We're doing a lot of really powerful work and it's making a really big difference.
So
And
here.
yeah. Yeah. And they're here supporting. It may look scary in the news and in the media, but they're 1,000 steps ahead.
Mhm.
They know where we're heading. That's why they gave me those very uplifting messages from the future. It's going to be okay. It's going to be good.
Mhm.
And everybody has a star family. And once you're supposed to meet your star family. Once you link up with them and they're guiding you, but
Yes.
they're guiding you. They're always there. But as you raise your vibration, you'll be able to receive their messages better
Mhm.
and just kind of become more aware of their presence. And once you link up with your star family, it's just boom.
Yeah, and you're the person to connect with to help us do that because you have such a beautiful connection yourself because you just allowed. You were so ready, even though you didn't even know it, but you were. I think your
Absolutely.
job dropped away at the perfect time because there are never any coincidences, is there? When something goes away, then something else comes forward that's most important for you to be in right now. That's how I
Mhm.
always look at things. Well, I used to sweat oh no, that's going to happen. And now I just say, well, if it's happened, then it's meant to be. And there's something better on the horizon,
Yeah.
you know? So,
Yes.
so any tips that you can tell people to do right now that you think you've said a few things, but anything particular that would help them
Mhm.
get going if they haven't even started or if they're stuck or
Mhm.
what would you say?
Yeah, so I'd like to share something on like making contact with your star family, connecting with your star family, as well as the working with the chakras. So that's incredibly powerful. I don't think any of us can do ascension without working on our chakras at some point. So how the star beings taught me is started from the bottom, the root chakra, and working your way up because you really, and a lot of that density is held in a lot of programming and trauma is
Sure.
held in the bottom three chakras. That keeps you from reaching the higher states. So the bottom ones are just as important, very
Oh,
important.
absolutely. Yeah. Because we have to stay connected to the earth as well because we're collecting all our parts of our divinity, but we have to stay connected to the earth and our physicality.
Yeah.
How I understand it. We're meant
Yeah.
to do this work like you're bringing through, which is so powerful. And the way you bring it through is so simple. I mean, you make it so effortless. I've listened to many of yours and it's like, wow, she's so effortless at how you do it. And it's so beautiful. And it
Mhm.
just happens. And you're so natural at it. You don't even think twice. You just do it. Like you use your bowls and you use your voice and
Yeah.
have you done any light language yet? Ah, you're doing something.
So no, but they do connect with my throat chakra, the
Uh-huh.
star beings. They connect with my throat chakra, but it's more about the tones and frequencies that I create
Mm-hmm.
just while I'm speaking and doing the activations. It's not like another language.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but they are connecting with my throat chakra, so it's kind of like you could say a variation, uh
Well, it's
it's
your
not,
way. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's
beautiful.
different.
Yeah, it's great. Well, because they're bringing it through in a different way with you. It's more
Mhm.
natural so that people who aren't ready for, say, something else, it's a little wilder sounding, that
Mhm.
you're you're very grounded.
Mhm.
And people, I think that attracts people with the way you're very grounded in the work that you bring through. You
Thank
make it
you.
feel very natual.
Yeah.
Because it is, technically, it is. We have to, you're making it just like, yeah, this is what you do, matter of fact. And that's a gift you have. You are very good that way. It's one of your gifts. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I want to make it just as easy. Once most people they just don't know where to start or,
Mhm.
and just kind of get lost in that. But yeah, there is, and that's what I'm doing with the DNA activation kits too. I'm going to put in every single thing step by step that I did. Just
Yeah.
make it super easy, super like here's the map.
Yeah. And I mean, see, people will trust that because you've done it. And that's what it's all about. When you've walked that walk and, done that work and you're a living representation of what you're doing and you're teaching. So
Yeah.
they can't deny that what you're saying is not truth because it's your
Right.
truth and it's what you've experienced.
Yeah.
So
But even
beautiful.
yeah, and even I invite people to try out one of the live activations on
Oh,
Sunday
yeah,
or one of
definitely.
the other meditations that I have on my channel because you'll feel a difference.
Oh,
Something will
yes.
happen. Something will happen for you. Um, and then I also wanted to mention in connecting with your star family real quick. So setting the intention is so powerful. So that's how you can get started if you don't know who your star family is or you don't know if you've connected with them. Set the intention and ask. just like how you said in the prayer in the beginning, we have to ask. We have free will, so we have to ask. So you would say, you know, I ask to connect with my star family of the highest love and light, and I ask for guidance, healing, love, and then the heart is another bit. That's a big way. That's a portal. Your heart is a portal to connect with these higher realms and to connect with the star beings. So feeling love in your heart, focusing on your heart center, doing heart opening exercises in heart meditations raises your vibration to connect with them more easily. So intention, ask, use your heart, and then spending time in nature and stargazing is also a really good way. Just start talking to them. Act as if they are already there, and they will show you in some way or another a sign to let you know that they're listening. You just have to ask for a sign. Start talking to them.
Yeah, it's so true. I think it was you probably that said, I sat out in my yard and just watched the stars and watched them just sat there. And I mean, they're very far away, but you can see movement when you're very still and very focused. You can see the movement. And I was taking pictures of my camera too. Well, it's just my phone really, but it was powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful things that you're bringing through. It's just beautiful. And it's so exciting. It's so exciting what you're bringing through. So, and is there anything else you had? Did you have another offer you were bringing through? I can't remember.
So just the deep chakra healing
Okay.
session with the inner earth
Perfect.
beings as a gift. Very great. And you have that for life. You can re-listen to it. Like a lot of people, they'll go and get a Reiki session each month or whatever. You can do it every couple weeks or, you know, each month. And then I'll be having the DNA activation kits. So hopefully those will be available.
Yes, that'll be beautiful.
Yeah, by
So
the time.
powerful. You're right on target with everything that we need right now. It's just, you're right on target with it. So I want to thank the audience that are here listening with this show today, and any kind of comments you have, any insights, any ahas, any comment, you know, anything you want to share with Lily, please connect with Lily, or you can connect with me and we'll share it with Lily. All her info will be below after this session. And Lily, I mean, your work is just, it's amazing work. It's priceless. And I don't know, you're like the princess of peace. I don't know, that's the word I'm getting right now, because you do it in such a peaceful, loving, gentle way. Wow. And it's just so beautifully brought through.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh, bringing me tears here, Lily.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's that energy that you bring through. It's beautiful. So the divine human is rising, and we hold unlimited potential and gifts as we create our new earth realities. Thank you, Lily, again, for your courage to step into owning your divine light. And that's what I always use as my phrase. And as we raise our heart's frequency, know that we are nourished with the love of the universe. I am Yarra Atlantica Miller, also known as Janet Miller. Thank you. And I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you again, Lily.
Mm-hmm.